So while Ruth had plenty of woo-woo friends and even some woo-woo family members, stepping into the role of a spiritual life coach, like and in a very official way where she was relying on it for income, that felt terrifying. It was weird for her to think of herself as a spiritual leader, although she had a really high level management job where she was leading people all the time. So she was leading people for somebody else's business, but the thought of like saying, "Hey, I'm a leader, I'm going to help you," was just too much. So she had this really big fear of being seen with her spiritual gifts because she thought her peers would see her as fraudulent or even just weird. She didn't think people would get her or believe her. One of the ways this fear showed up for her was in perfectionism. So she enrolled in my program and she was really excited when she got started. And this was like 5 years ago. She was loving the work. And the thing is, she was she was loving the work, but she would never finish the work. All right. So she would work on something until it was perfect. And if you're anything at all like Ruth, and I can totally relate to her, but things were never going to be perfect. And so she never finished her assignments. So on the surface, she seemed like she was really working for high quality stuff, okay, which is really good. But then her pursuit for quality started really holding her back. She would start writing her blogs, but she would critique what she was writing as she was writing it. So she had a lot of blogs that she started, but she finished like none of them. And when I started looking at the pattern, I could see that she was really afraid to put her work out there for people to see because she felt vulnerable and she was terrified that she would look like a fool and that she would like never live down the shame of thinking she could lead people as a life coach. So we did shadow work for her, and once we cleared up the fears, she was really able to move on and she was able to find her groove. Now, if you're at all like Ruth and you're hesitating to put yourself out there as a coach or a healer, or even just as a spiritual entrepreneur, you're not alone. Being seen, being visible can be really terrifying, especially when it feels like stepping into the spotlight makes you more vulnerable to judgment, criticism, or even rejection. But here's what I've discovered really the hard way. The fear of being seen is costing you your purpose, your impact, and your real financial freedom. So, in today's live stream, I'm going to give you 3 realistic ways to stop hiding and to start owning your visibility, not just for yourself, but for the people who need your wisdom, your gifts, and your guidance, because ultimately that's what it's about. Now, my name is Crystalline Bell, and I'm the founder of Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coaching. I help women like you become certified spiritual life coaches, and I help you build your business from scratch. I show you everything from how to write an effective blog to how to get a high ticket client. All right. I help you build your 6 figure business structure step by step. So I want to invite you to join me on February 18th through the 20th for the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge. So today is the 18th, y'all. It starts tonight. So 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a 3-day event where I'm going to be helping you get seen and heard by laying the groundwork for a fabulous business plan and coaching brand. So get the link to sign up for free in the video description, and my team is here. They'll put it in the comments for you as well. So we're gonna meet at 8:30 tonight, tomorrow, and then the next day. and we're going to meet just for an hour. So it's not going to be like really hard, but it's going to be really fun and it's going to be very, very meaningful. All right. So, what does your business plan and your coaching brand have to do with your fear of being seen? Well, if you don't have a strong coaching brand or a structured business plan, you are going to be stuck in confusion instead of taking strategized actions that get you seen and recognized as a trustworthy expert. So, of course, you're going to want to hide. So, first of all, please understand that your coaching brand isn't just your logo or your colors, that it's really about your message. It's your story, it's your voice, and it's how people are going to be perceiving you. So I know, like, if I know that if you have issues with visibility, you're probably cringing right now. You're probably thinking, my story, my voice, how people perceive me. Yes, crystalline. That is why I'm terrified. All right. I totally hear you, but hear me out, okay? Because there is a method to my madness. And this is why I want you to come to the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge tonight, because we're going to be looking at this head on and I've got a solution for it, okay? So your brand is what makes you recognizable and trustworthy in a crowded space. When you have a clear, confident brand, visibility stops feeling scary because you know exactly what you stand for and how to communicate it. So there's no need to hide. It takes work to get there, but with a great mentor like me, like moi, comme moi, it's much easier. So, the thing I want you to also understand is that a well-built business plan ensures that every piece of content you create, every live stream you do, and every offer that you create has purpose. Your business plan keeps you from throwing random things out there and kind of hoping that something sticks. Instead, it gives you a clear direction about what to offer, who to target, and how to bring income in consistently. So, without a business plan, getting seen by the right people feels chaotic and overwhelming because there's no clear end goal. And you can be doing something one day, but then you get scared and then you go do something different the next day. I see this all the freaking time. It's like we life coaches can be like it's like herding life coaches is like herding cats. Like, oh, I'm going to go over here. But meow, I don't feel like it. Meow, I'm going to go over here. Meow, I'm going to go over there. It's like sometimes being heart-centered is kind of hard. So this again is why I'm creating the Wealthy and Woo-Woo Challenge. This this is where I'm going to give you a formula to help you attract clients, but more importantly, I'm going to give you three proven strategies that you can implement right now to start making good money as a spiritual life coach. Revenue streams are the foundation of your business plan. And if you haven't looked at those yet, and if you haven't really thought those through, you've done yourself an injustice. So you need revenue streams. And once you have a plan for them in place, you are going to find it so much easier to put yourself out there because then you can be much more focused on your mission to be of service. Your mission is what fuels your business plan. So, why are so many aspiring coaches afraid of being seen? Well, look, I think it's because the fear of being seen doesn't really just come out of nowhere. It's really a deep rooted mix of self doubt, conditioning, and perfectionism. And it's kind of like a thing that happens, I think, with women, and it stops us from sharing our work. And it often just manifests as fear. So let me share five of the big fears that I see in my clients. The number one fear um, is about putting yourself out there and sharing your message, sharing your ideas, sharing your personal journey, right? That means that you're exposing yourself to other people's opinions. I mean, we've gone through things and there's a lot of shame in us. And there's some people who can really move past the shame, but most of us cannot. A lot of us stuff it down. But, that's not the healthy way either. As a life coach, you don't want to be stuffing your stuff down. You want to be dealing with it? So I think it's perfectly reasonable to have these fears, but I think that it means you should be doing the work to overcome the fears. And more than anything, I think you should have a system where you are putting yourself out there in spite of the fear. So, in other words, do it anyway. Be afraid, get the job done anyway. Eventually, that fear will go away as you become more confident. Now, the second one is fear of judgment. So, and the thing is, okay, we have fear of judgment, and it's usually not the strangers that are our biggest critics. It's our friends, our family, and our colleagues, the people we're working with currently, because for many of us, we're not going to just go from, just leave our job tomorrow, excuse me, be done with the people around us, never have to see those old colleagues again. No, you're going to be working on building your coaching business while you're working on your current job, most likely. So if you have built a life where people respect you as an intelligent professional woman, all of a sudden you're like, yes, I am Crystal Lynn and I work with crystals. People are going to be like, okay, crazy pants, go ahead, right? It's a very risky identity shift. And of course, you're not going to all of a sudden change who you are. You're still, if you are, if you are a sophisticated, um, professional, you're going to be a sophisticated life coach. It's not like you're going to make a big drastic change and become, some woo-woo person that you weren't before. All right. But still, though, we act as if we're making these big changes and, people aren't going to recognize us. And while it may be true, people might judge you, we got to still, like I said, you got to do it anyway. You got to deal with your fear of judgment because your fear isn't, it's not really their judgments or criticisms that are the issue. It is more your own judgment or it's your own judgment about yourself, but it's also your own fear that is the issue. Okay. So people can be judging you, but do you have to fear that? No, you do not. Now, the third fear is the fear of not being qualified enough. This is where imposter syndrome sneaks in, and you start to wonder, like, who am I to do this? Like, who gave me the authority to be a life coach? Like, who do I think I am to be a life coach? All right. Maybe you don't have the years of experience, or maybe you're still learning. But honestly, if you wait until you feel 100% ready, you're never going to start because that feeling doesn't go away until you actually are doing it. And then you look at yourself and you're like, oh, actually, I just did my first session and the person loved it. Like, wow. All right. Fear number four is the fear of criticism and ridicule. So the internet is freaking crazy, all right? It is ruthless and there are trolls and we see this stuff happening to people. But the thing is, the reality is, if you're worried about okay, first of all, I don't see that many trolls out there. There are some trolls, but you know what? I just block, delete. I am done with you. And I do self-reflect. If somebody has a valid criticism of me, I actually listen and I take that on and I sit with it. I do my shadow work around it, whatever it brings up for me, I do my shadow work. But that criticism doesn't actually come that often. I'm just over here doing my work, helping people, writing my blogs, making my videos, and enjoying my life, you know? And people who are interested in me, they're coming with the same thing that I'm giving them. I'm giving them love, they're coming to me with love. That's what I get. I think it's going to be the same for you. I don't think you need to worry as much as you do. All right. The people who need you are going to be the ones who are really focused on you, and that's who you should be focusing on yourself. All right. Now, the number five, maybe I should have made this number one, but it's perfectionism. How many of y'all are dealing with perfectionism? Seriously, put it in the chat if perfectionism is an issue for you. Perfectionism is where you keep telling yourself you need a better website, you need better branding, you need more training, you need more of something before you can really start to show up. But really, perfectionism is just fear disguised as productivity. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start. All right. And I promise you will bring good quality to your work. You will get all your stuff out there. And it doesn't need to be perfect. People are not looking for perfection. They're just looking for help. They're looking for someone to listen. They're looking for someone who has gone through some stuff and can relate to them. That's what they're looking for. So if any of these fears have been holding you back, it's not because you're not good enough. It's because you don't have the right business foundation to stand on. And that foundation is not, the foundation or what you've built is not making you feel really confident and clear in your message, your brand, and your value. And that's where I come in, right? So I want you to sign up for the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge for sure. And also keep following me here on these weekly videos. And I'm always sharing great posts, and my team is out there helping to spread the message as well. All right. So I want to give you those three practical ways to overcome the fear of being seen. So, way number one, stop making it about yourself. Stop making it about you. Focus on the people that you are meant to serve. One of the biggest reasons we feel afraid to be seen is because we're worried about how we will look and what people are going to think about us. But coaching isn't actually about you, it's about the people that you are here to help. So instead of asking, what will they think of me? Shift the focus to how can I be of service today? And the next time fear creeps in, imagine someone that needs your message, right? Picture them struggling, searching, and waiting for someone like you to show up. If you don't put yourself out there, they're going to stay stuck. All right, show up for them. Okay, way number two, own your brand, own your value. When your brand is solid, your message is clear, and you have a strong business strategy in place, your confidence will come for that. So it's really much easier to put yourself out there when you believe in the value of what you offer. You're not here to just post or market yourself. You're actually here to create a movement. What's his name? Russell Brunson says that. He's like, dude, you need to create a movement. I love that so much. So, what do you want to create a movement around? How do you want to have impact? And what kind of transformational experience can you give to your clients? Focus on that. Make that your brand and fuel and nurture your brand. Your brand is your mission. We're going to be talking about that a lot tonight in the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge. All right. Now, Way number three, commit to consistent action even when it's uncomfortable. Ah! Be consistent. Do something every day. Do the hard things, even when it's uncomfortable. Ah! Oh, I'm just thinking about myself, right? I see myself in this stuff. I've been doing this coaching thing I've been doing this now for over 12 years. And even though I've been doing it as long as I have, I still have my own stuff. And no, it doesn't hold me back. That's the whole thing. It doesn't hold me back. I might eat a donut, okay? I might I might be working on something and then I might stop and go shove something in my mouth. But by golly, I'm gonna come back and get my work done. And I do a tremendous amount of work. I am very productive and it pays off. Okay. I do not let the fear stop me. I do need to stop putting food in my mouth though. So your job is going to be to commit to consistent action even when it makes you feel uh, uncomfortable. Understand that confidence isn't really something you just get magically. It's something that you build through action. So the more you show up, the easier it gets. And even if you start small, the key is to start. And one of the things you can do is to challenge yourself to one small visibility action this week, right? So you can post a short video, share a personal story, or send an email to your audience. Each time you take a step, fear is going to lose its grip. So, friend, I want you to understand that the confidence you need to put yourself out there boldly comes from clarity. Clarity is king. Clarity is what I'm going to give you in the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge. So keep in mind that the reason most coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs fear visibility is that they don't have clarity around their brand and their business strategy. So, of course, they don't have the confidence in what they're offering. They haven't done the work. All right. When you have a clear brand, when you have a clear message, and you have a real plan for attracting clients, you don't feel shaky. You feel empowered to show up boldly and to own your visibility. That's why I created the Wealthy and Woo Woo Challenge. So I want you to come and sign up for the challenge. You're going to put your authentic self to work. All right. You're going to get a clear strategy for growing your coaching business, and you're going to step into the visibility that attracts clients. And I am so excited. So please come and sign up for the challenge. We're starting tonight. There will be a replay available. The replays will be available no, wait, we're keeping the replays up until Monday. So if you sign up, you will get the replays, but you have to sign up. They will not be broadcast. They won't be live streamed. They will only be available to people who sign up. All right. Okay, friend, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right here. I look forward to seeing you on the first night of the challenge, which is in 8 hours. All right. Okay, friend, I'll see you later. Bye for now. Ciao.